Okay, this will be a quick succession tamer PvE guide. Flash tree, you hold SLMB, and this is your EP buff and minus DP debuff. Bolt Jolt is your second highest DPS skill in the entire kit, and it's still really good DPS while on cooldown. Void Lightning is only used to pull mobs in certain spots, such as Sekraya, Hystria, Kratuga, P-Cave. Summon Huklong, you should have it on your hotbar and you should summon it every hour. Absorb Huklong is your E-buff that you should be using off cooldown. As for commands, the only useful command in PvE is command follow, but it's not necessary to use any commands. Only in Gyphen lower I would recommend using the command so it doesn't trigger the towers. Scratch, don't really use it in PvE. Whiplash should be locked. Throatburn, this is a really high DPS skill. Trample, so this is your second AP buff, but the damage is still really low. You should only use it as a filler, and it's only a primary skill in Tungrad runs, which I'll show later. Lightning of Earth, this is your other TP debuff, as well as one of the highest damage skills in the kit. Surging Tide is a really high damage skill as well. Fearful Trembling, this is not the high DPS skill, it's actually pretty bad, but you're gonna have to use it anyways to buy time for cooldowns. Upwards Claw is decent DPS, but only if you skip the first hit of it and you go into the second hit, which I can show how to do later. And Roaring is a really high DPS skill. Dark Galore is your Magnus skill, which is the highest DPS skill if you cancel the iframe part. All Around Spinner is pretty bad DPS because the animation is still really long, so you should only use it for a frontal guard for spots like Dekia Olun's 1-2, Dekia Ash 1-2, P-Cave, and Orzekia, Elvi Orzekia. Moonlight Strike is your main movement skill between packs, and your E-buff is pretty useless. You should lock Flurry of Kicks, Stretch Kick, and Evasive Attack. Tree Climb is your other movement skill, which you use after Moonlight because it increases the range. And Legendary Leap is only used in P-Cave. It's pretty bad everywhere else. As you should leave Evasion unlocked. Lock Rage Absorption and Rage Transfer. Your rabams. Horror Slam is better than Resonance. Jolt Stab and Burst Spike are better for DPS. You can link Burst Spike after Jolt Stab, and I will show how to do in a bit. Okay, so the add-ons I have on Bolt Wave, which is back attack damage and critical hit damage, Jolt Wave, extra AP against monsters, and attack speed, as well as Lightning of Earth, critical hit rate, and negative DP, are the only add-ons you need for every spot in the game except Tungrad runs. That means that the other three add-ons are situational. You can put HP recovery, you can put MP recovery, you can put movement speed, you can put human damage, you can put PvP add-ons if you're running on Arsha, but they do not matter for PvE. Only Bolt Wave, Jolt Wave, and Lightning of Earth are the add-ons you need for every spot in the game except Tungrad runs, and I'll show Tungrad runs add-ons and combo at the end of the video. Okay, now we'll go over the combo. So the base combo is Bolt Jolt, so Shift LMB, into Lightning of Earth, so W RMB, into Upwards Claw, so S RMB, into Flash Tree, so S LMB. That's the first part, and then you would go into Bolt Jolt again. So and then you would Bolt Jolt again to refresh your add-ons. And after that you would do Throatburn, Roaring, Surging Tide, Dark Galore. So this, and after that you would want to refresh your Bolt Jolt add-ons again. And then since everything is still going to be on cooldown, you would use your rabams and then Upwards Flow again. So your rabams being Jolt Stab into Burst Spike. So if you Shift Z, and after the second hit you would do SLMB, that will automatically flow into Burst Spike. Like that. And then you do Upwards Claw after that. So the entire combo looks like this. And then from here, your Flash is up, your Lightning of Earth is up. You can't exactly repeat the combo, but you can mostly repeat all the skills that you used, and if something is on cooldown, you can use something else like Shift Q or Shift X, or even just more bold jolt or trample, so spacebar after almost any skill in the kit. Okay, now we'll go over some tips to help you play succ tamer. So the most important part is binding WW to a mouse button. That's that. Now AA and DD, you could bind it like I did. It takes a bit getting used to, but in my opinion it's worth, and it's needed for PvP. For PvE it's not needed. However, if you iframe side to side using Shift A and Shift D, there is a 1 frame gap, and you will die eventually to something if you use it. Either be Black Shrine or ADDONS. So I do recommend binding AA and DD to just A and D, but it is hard getting used to it. Now, as for the jolt stab and breast spike flow, hold SLMB after the second hit of jolt stab, you will go into breast spike. Hold SRMB after WRMB to go into the second hit of upwards claw. That way you skip the first hit, and that's where all the damage is on the second hit. And last most important thing on succ tamer is bold jolt cancel. Tapping spacebar while holding Shift LMB will make you do the skill all over again. So I did the skill, I did total of 5 hits there. So I did the first 2 hits, I did bolt and then jolt, and then before I did the second hit of jolt, I clicked spacebar, and then it made me do the entire skill rotation again. So it's not difficult, and it's very important to learn how to do. You can use this cancel every time you use bolt jolt. You can also not do it. It's up to you, and you don't have to use it, but it is a DPS increase, and it is something you'll be using a lot, especially if you're absorbed or you have shy buffs or you're Z buffed. Okay, now movement. Using tree climb after moonlight to make you go slightly further. So like this. This should be your main movement pack to pack because it is pretty low cooldown. And then doing LMB after WW and then legendary beast power is a pretty good way to move around, and you should be using that all the time. It looks like this, but faster, like that. So this should be your movement pack to pack. And if it's really long packs like P Cave, then you should use legendary lip. Okay, I'll now show an example of how you should grind hoglim base. The idea is to get your add-ons from bolt wave and jolt wave, and then use 2 to 3 hard hitting skills and finish the mobs off with bolt jolt. Your hard hitting skills are Throatburn, Surging Tide, Roaring, Dark Galore. Avoid using skills like spinner, flash, because since those don't do a lot of damage here. The most important thing is to get your add-ons from Bolt and Jolt. I'll now show an example on how to grind Quint Hill. Start by arguing all the mobs with Q and then going behind one of them and killing them. If one of the trolls that spawned is a Thor, obviously you go behind the Thor because he will range you. Then you kill the adds. If you're doing double rift, you would go to a different troll now. But I'm just demonstrating a combo. Wait on the quint for a few seconds before moving. Okay, I'll now show how you should grind Darkseekers. Okay, I'll now show an example of how to grind P-Cave. This is unlucky P-Cave. You should still get 100% knockdown resistance because succ detection tamer has too many gaps in PvE. Start by pulling all the mobs with Q. Just Q really quick and then reposition behind one of the mobs. Should reposition after 2 to 3 skills. Okay, so Tungrad Ruins has its own combo and its own add-ons. Those are the add-ons, and I'll go over the combo in a bit. Okay, now we'll go over the Tungrad Ruins combo. There are two combos. The first combo is Moonlight, Trample, Bolt Jolt, Lightning of Earth, Throatburn, Roaring, and then you finish off the mobs with either Fearful, Rabams, or Bolt Jolt. And the second combo is Moonlight into Trample, Bolt Jolt, Flash, Surging Tide, Dark Galore, and then you finish off the mobs with Rabams, or Fearful, or more Bolt Jolt.